Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Denali and I am a full-time online reseller on websites like eBay and Poshmark. You can find me on Instagram as DUCHO Thrift. And if you're not subscribed to my channel and you'd like to be, hit that button down below. And if you enjoy this video, give me a thumbs up today on your way out. All right, so a couple weeks ago, I reached out to all of you and asked you for video ideas of what you might like to see from me that I haven't posted yet, or maybe I haven't posted in a while. So thank you to all of you who filled out the form and gave me such great responses. I really appreciate it. And I've been looking over them and I'm starting to choose a few. In today's video, I wanted to answer one of those. And this person actually sent in kind of a few different questions, but altogether they felt kind of appropriate. And I think that they'll make for one good video. So I'm kind of answering them off the cuff. So pardon me if I am a little disorganized. The first question that they kind of asked was, how do you structure your day or week? I'm assuming they mean obviously as a full-time reseller. Well, I'd love to tell you that I have a planner where I plan stuff out and schedule things all nice and pretty in my day. Unfortunately, I'm not that seller. So if you need somebody who's really type A in that way, maybe skip this video. I do have a planner, and when I remember to use it, it can be helpful. But otherwise, I do kind of have an idea of how my week is going to go. For us in the warehouse, we have a lot of different tasks, and some of those daily or weekly tasks or whatever might fall on me. So I'm going to speak to myself in this situation. Somebody does do our shipping dedicated on Mondays and Fridays. So I know for sure I don't need to do shipping on those days. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, shipping at the warehouse can either be done by me or my warehouse manager. I actually don't mind doing it. I kind of like shipping. It's weird. I don't know, maybe it's not weird, but I don't mind doing it. So those are days that I can be responsible for it, but I can also take a pass on them if I choose to not do them that day. But in general, we do ship 5 days a week at the warehouse. In terms of listing, I have bounced back and forth with listing so many different times, so many different schedules, and I will continue and eternally play with those schedules as time continues to move on in my reselling career. In the beginning, I did 7 days a week listing. Then in the past year, I went to 5 days a week listing, and now I'm kind of back at 7 days a week listing. And it's mostly just because we fell behind in terms of having enough listings to publish every day. I do have a couple of virtual assistants that I have been using and have used throughout the past few years. This July will be my 5th year as a full-time reseller, and I think I first got a virtual assistant probably within my first year or year and a half of reselling, and it's been massively beneficial to my business. I highly recommend it. I've done videos and I have a course on hiring virtual assistants. So if you're curious about that, check out down below. I'll link all that stuff for you. What does my virtual assistant do? What do they do? A few different things. They draft listings for me. That's the really big one that they do. And then I do also have one of my virtual assistants go in and delete sold items from the platform. So that's something that they take care of every day. So in terms of creating those drafts, ideally in a perfect world for me, I would like to have 350, I know that's a big number, 350 new listings every week. So that is what I'm always shooting for. In a 5-day-a-week schedule, that's going to be 70 new items a day, right? If I'm doing my math correctly, 75 days a week. In a 7-day-a-week schedule, that's going to be 50 items a day. I do like to be consistent in my listing schedule, if that makes sense. And that is something that I recommend to other people to do. I have found in my own personal experience that the algorithm really likes regular and consistent behavior. To be honest, tell me an algorithm that doesn't like regular, consistent behavior. The YouTube algorithm likes it, Instagram, TikTok, everybody, they like predictable behavior. And it does take a while for algorithms to figure out your behavior and where to place you. And so for that reason, I really recommend people stick with a change in their behavior for minimum a month to then be able to see the results the following month, because it takes that algorithm, again, a while to figure out, okay, this is what this person does. And now a month later, okay, we've got them regularly in the algorithm. And apply that advice really to any social media or selling platform that you may use, that you're aware of, that uses an algorithm, which has to be all of them, right? Like I said, I have played around with it. I've even gotten it down to 3 days a week, which was about, I think off the top of my head, it was like 116 listings Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And to be honest, that's the one I actually like the most, because I would prefer to just do 3 days a week of listing. However, that's really dependent on enough work being built up in my drafts to be able to then publish listings on those days. So if you're curious why drafts, it's because then I go in and do the pricing. So my virtual assistant, nor do any of my employees do any of the pricing. So that is something that I know that I need to be taken care of currently in my current schedule. It's about 7 days a week, but I'd like to get back to that 3-day a week schedule. Other daily things that need to be done in my business. I have been, as of recent, supplementing and being a photographer in my business. So I do have other people who do photographing at the warehouse, other employees who do that. However, I have been recently doing that. If you maybe saw one of my most recent videos, an employee left recently, they got another job, all good, nothing, no bad situation or anything like that. So anyways, I have not hired a new person in that person's place. I feel like personally for me, and I'm filming this video in May of 2022, just with the current economy and everything, I maybe want to hold back a little bit longer before bringing in somebody new to the business. That might change. I might change my mind in 2 weeks or 2 months. However, right now I would rather absorb other tasks and help out in the business in that way. So hopefully that makes sense to you. What does that mean is that I'm just doing other tasks that I had somebody else do. So one of them is photographing, which I don't mind. And actually, personally for me, I've been photographing a lot of smaller accessories that we have. And I kind of like doing that because for me, accessories are really small and I don't mind just, you know, they're really easy to just kind of move quickly. So, and I love sourcing them from the Goodwill outlet. So that's also another incentive. I source them, I photograph them, and then I get to price them. So that's something that I've been trying to do about, I would say 3 days a week. I'm photographing right now. So I kind of, from what you're hearing, I'm kind of doing a lot of the different tasks. The only one that I'm really not doing is drafting listings. And again, that's because I do have 2 virtual assistants. And so they are solely dedicated to doing that. So that's kind of what my days, weeks look like in terms of sourcing. When do I find time to do that? Well, I wish that was a little bit more structured at this point. At the beginning of this year, I had said to myself, I'm going to make it this and this day of the week is when I'm going to go to the thrift store or the outlet for me and do my sourcing. However, you know, life is unpredictable, and sometimes I maybe just need to be in the warehouse one day for one reason or another, or I'm not up to it or feeling like I want to go on that day. So for me, it actually has been kind of, you know, I wake up in the morning and I'm like, yeah, this is the thing I want to do today, which, let's be honest, that's the beauty of being self-employed. I kind of go when I want to go, but I kind of like that, and I don't know that I want to change that. I don't find personally for me, in my experience, that there is a day of the week or time of the day that is maybe better at the Goodwill outlet. So for me, it's just not a deal breaker. This person also asked how many items I list per day, which I kind of told you my goal really is a bigger number of 350, which again, this person said, how do you figure out your weekly goal? So for me, again, I base it on number of listings, and that just works for my business and has worked for my business for the past 5 years. And I'm in the school of thought where it's like, if it's not broke, don't fix it. So that number obviously has increased through the years. You know, maybe it started out as 5 per day, which would have been 35 per week, you know, and it did, because I think back to when I used to do 10 a day or when I used to do 20 a day. And I remember thinking 20 was such a big number, and then going to 30 and thinking 30 was such a big number, to now be at 50, which 50 is a really big number, but I'm also operating a much larger business. So for me, it was just about increasing it in that way. How do I manage all of these different platforms, right? Because I sell on The RealReal, eBay, Poshmark, Tradesy, Mercari, and where else do I sell? ThredUp, Flip, that's 7. I don't know. There's probably more, but I haven't said them. So if anybody else can think about where else I sell. So there's a bunch of different places, and how do I kind of prioritize for them? Well, I cross list. So cross listing is a really big part of my business. I cross list to wherever I can. Not really any rhyme or reason to it, other than eBay and Poshmark being my main ones. And then in terms of like, you know, do I think to myself, I'm not going to sell on this platform because I don't think these sort of shoppers are there? No, I don't really have that mentality. Oh, with that that said, I sell also on Depop, Kitizen, I can't think where else. So now we're up to 9 platforms. So I try to not really prejudge where a customer might be. Now, for instance, on Depop, yeah, I'm not really listing my Eileen Fisher there or Eddie Bauer or whatever else the case might be. I am going for a little bit more of an aesthetic over there. However, for Tradesy, I put the same stuff that I put on eBay and Poshmark over there. So does Tradesy get Eileen Fisher? Yeah. Will Tradesy also get an Eddie Bauer jacket? Yeah, because it doesn't cost me any money to list my items over there. So I don't really mind. It's just another place that I can put my stuff up. And if it sells over there, awesome. And you'd be surprised what has sold on these random platforms, especially Tradesy. I've sold Costco brand items there. So yeah, if you wouldn't think that, you know, lower end items sell there, they do. And just in the same way that higher end items can sell on places like eBay or Mercari or wherever you think that they might not sell. Oh, for the Real Real, how do I find time to source for that and then also pack boxes for that? So for the Real Real, I am still just getting the items from the Goodwill outlet. I do also put in liquidation items because I still order liquidation as a part of my business. I set pieces to the side from liquidation that are going to go there. And then additionally, items that I get from the Goodwill outlet, I will also set aside for the Real Real. And then I do manifest my items. You can, or you don't have to, that's your discretion. Creating a manifest can be better in terms of tracking your items. So I'll just say that I have grown my business to be pretty big on the Real Real. And so I am now a business account. So I do have to manifest my items. Anyways, it does help for me because as a business account, and even as a regular account, I believe you can ask for this. You can ask for pricing. So if you send in a pair of, let's say, Gucci sneakers that are new with tags and you're thinking to yourself, well, these retail for $900. I'm not sure if I want to send these in. I want to know what they're going to be priced at. That's actually something you can ask your rep and they will quote you what that price will be on the site when it goes live. So that there's really not any confusion as to what you might be getting for that item. That's not to say it's not subject to possibly coupons or price drops or stuff like that. So all of that, you know, you really have to ask your reps all those questions. So for packing those boxes, I try and do it in a perfect world at least once a week. Twice a week would be nice, but that is a shared activity actually between my warehouse manager and myself, like any of these tasks are that I've mentioned. But that person, my warehouse manager, will also be packing boxes for the Real Real, and they do it more frequently than I do because it is a large part of our business. That kind of covers the Real Real and some of my other platforms. Oh, this person also asked what your employees' roles are and their schedules. So I'm not gonna say their exact schedules because that feels a little private, but their roles are, I have a warehouse manager and I have one photographer right now. I also have somebody who is a friend of mine who will do repair work for us. And then I have 2 virtual assistants. So my warehouse manager is kind of a jack of all trades and they do a number of different tasks in the business. That's going to be answering customer questions, answering customer returns, processing customer returns, helping with shipping, helping with photographing, sending our stuff out for consignment to the Real Real. Gosh, what else? Helping intake liquidation items, helping process liquidation items. I'm trying to think. There's basically, you think of it that those are the things that that role does. Basically being my right-hand person, is that the term for it? My sidekick, helping me out with anything I may need help with. The person who does our photographing, photographs items and puts them into inventory to then obviously be sold. This person also is cross-trained and does shipping for us. So they will ship items out and then also do photographing. And this person also has been cross-trained to draft listings for us. So that's been helpful. If we've ever fallen behind with our listings, they've been able to step in that way. And that's been really great. And then our repair person does any number of repairs. They're so awesome. It's my friend Liz. And she can repair shoes and dresses and shirts and really any fabric or material or zipper or closure. It's amazing. She's so helpful. I'm so grateful for the work that she does. And then my virtual assistants, like I mentioned to you, they just draft listings for me, and it's great. And as I mentioned, we are a 5-day-a-week business, and so the only person that's really there on the weekends might be me because I'm a 7-day-a-week business. Because my rate is really cheap, as you can imagine. But yeah, that's what everybody's schedule and week kind of looks like. I hope this was helpful to you guys. If there are questions that you might still have that maybe I didn't elaborate on, or I talked about something that you want me to elaborate more on, please let me know down below in the comments. I'm more than happy to continue to answer what I can about the business and anything you guys might be curious about. And of course, if you didn't get a chance to leave an idea for a video that you would be interested in seeing, I will include the form in this description of the video. So if you'd like to go fill that out and send me your thoughts, I would so appreciate it. But in the meantime, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.